How I overcame my fear of failure in real estate. My name is Lauren Plant, mindset and performance coach. Just a reminder, all of my information is in the description. A free discovery call with me if you're interested in coaching, and also some resources and tools there for you guys. Check those out. And if this content helps you at all, like and subscribe to this channel so I can reach more people. Let's get started. How I overcame my fear of failure. Fear of failure is a really big success block that I work on with a lot of clients, and also one that I had to overcome myself. I'm going to tell you guys a story. When I first got into real estate, I started part-time. One of the biggest regrets I have along my real estate journey was not going full-time sooner. Not having trusted myself, not having got out of my comfort zone and let go of that security, because when I went full-time, that's when my life really shifted and I started making double and more and more and more money and investing in properties and just really expanding myself, because ultimately that's what I wanted to do and that's who I wanted to be, was a full-time real estate agent. So removing my fear of failure really started early on in my career, thankfully, and I had to remove that in order to go full-time. Going into real estate part-time was easy because I already had my security blanket. I had my part-time job that I was doing, I had my salary, I had my benefits, I had all those things that we really hold on to. And that's a really strong belief that we hold to, because I've been without benefits and on commission for the last 6-7 years of my life at this point, and nothing's wrong with it, right? There's nothing wrong. I can pay out of pocket for anything I need to. But the point is that I'm living the life that I want to live, and I've worked it out, right? And I couldn't let that go. It was so embedded in me from society, from family, from friends, people just saying, you need benefits, you need benefits. That's the first thing they teach you coming out of college. Find yourself a job that has the best benefits and good pay, of course. But everybody says, get good benefits, get good benefits. And that was a really hard thing for me to let go of. And fear of failure is really a fellow comfort zone block. I'd say perfectionism is the main comfort zone block, but getting out of that comfort zone mentality. Because if I failed in real estate, I would have lost my benefits, I would have lost that security, and that's what I kept thinking. So I would fear that I would fail. Right? And along with that fear of failure, what we tend to do, and what I did as well, was I avoided my own success. I avoided taking the big steps needed in order to fail forward. However, I was closing deals pretty consistently. I was doing a really good job. I had doubled my income just from becoming a real estate agent already off of part-time. However, I was still afraid to let all of that go, because if I did fail, I would be left with nothing. I wouldn't have that security blanket over me. However, the best things are birthed in life from the place of the unknown. As we know, the spontaneous things in our life always tend to be the best. The things that come from the space in the unknown are the things that bring us to higher and higher places and greater places in our life, whether it be personal, whether it be in our career. And I wasn't trusting of that. And a lot of my removing that fear of failure was trusting myself and the universe, essentially. It's just trusting that life was going to take me in the right places, because I was always doing the things I needed to do, right? I was very consistent in my career in real estate. I was always reading self-development books. I was always looking to get better every single day. All of the qualities of a top real estate agent. I knew what I had to do. I knew who I had to be. And I had a psych background. Like, I knew how to be the person I needed to be. However, I just couldn't shake that fear that I could fail. And I'll tell you kind of where that stemmed from for me personally, because all of these blocks, they come with a root, right? There's a root to the problem. And the root to my problem was that I always had something to prove. And I wasn't able to fully step into me and what I needed, what I wanted, and move in that direction. I had to prove something. And because I had to prove something to the people around me, to my family, letting go of those benefits would almost let other people down. They would really shed a negative light on me and on who I am, letting go of that security, all of that stuff that has been taught and told to us, because that's what other people believe. I didn't believe that. I believed that life was going to carry me through seamlessly. And it's interesting how life does to the people that believe in it. And I just couldn't let go of that need to just prove and please and conform. I had to. And it was everything that was told to me. And I had to sit in that. And if I failed in real estate, I would be letting everybody else down. Whereas, funny thing was, I'm a fully functioning adult. I could do whatever I want. God forbid I did fail. But I knew deep down I wasn't going to fail. And it's funny how we can know these things. We can really know it, like deep in our soul, but our mind and our body is telling us something different. And it's crazy because I couldn't wrap my mind around going full-time real estate. It took me a year to go full-time real estate. I really should have went full-time in the first 3 months. I was closing consistently after the first 3 months, but I didn't fully trust myself. I didn't fully trust that everything was going to be okay. Because I was never really taught at a young age that everything was always going to be okay. That you can trust yourself, that life works itself out, that you should try things, that you should go outside of the box. I wasn't taught that. And when I went through all of that in my head, and when I went through that through my journey, and I realized, okay, what I was taught versus what I actually know inside to be true are two very different things. And I was holding each one in my hand. And they were battling and in conflict with one another constantly. It was a difficult place to be in, and I'm sure a lot of other people, if they're thinking about getting into real estate or are in real estate part-time or are dealing with just a fear of failing in real estate so they won't fully level up and give their all and step 2 feet into the business. You need to step 2 feet into this business to really take it places. You need to step 2 feet into this business to go 6 figures plus. You have to. And that was something I didn't realize until I did it, really. Because I had that need to prove, because I had that fear of rejection, criticism, just weighing on me from other people in my life that have told and taught me something different from what we should abide by, almost even society. Almost would I be ostracized by society? It was really something I had to sit with and come to terms with the fact that everybody's different and everybody does things differently. And if I fail, I'm going to pick myself back up because that's what I know how to do. I've worked 3 jobs at once just to get myself to New York City. You have to go back in your timeline and you have to remember all of the things that you've done to get yourself to where you're at now. And you never let yourself fall to the point of no return because you're here right now. The thing is, you're not gonna die. You're not gonna go broke, and if you do, you can always backpedal and come back, right? There's a lot of life to live, and we put these time constraints on the things that we want to achieve, and really, the things just take time. It's how quickly you're willing to level up mentally. The mindset game is so strong in real estate, it's incredible. The self-development journey is the one that needs to be taken place before anything else. And you'll hear me say time and time again that action can be taken. I can take action after action after action. However, I'm really not going to progress at the lengths that I want to without the mindset behind it. And so when that all clicked for me, that's what made the difference. And that's when I went full time. I was like, I'm going all in. And there were some bumps along the road, along the way. And I had, you fall off sometimes. Like I fell off, I came back, fell off, came back. But when I had 2 feet in the business, that's when I was flourishing. That's when I was making money. That's when I was making smart decisions. I was investing my money. I was saving my money. And I started to really spread my wings and fly in a way. And that's what it takes. So fear of failure really looks like avoidance. Avoidance in any way. I've seen clients put their hands in a lot of pots, really try to take on a lot of tasks and a lot of different projects in ways to keep them in their space, because they don't want to take it a step further, because if they fail, then they'll be a failure, right? Which means that you prove all of the people in your past correctly if they've ever talked poorly about you or said you can't do it, or if they have ever doubted you in any way. And that's the fear. The fear is that you're going to let those people know that you did fail. However, the failure it's necessary. The failure is necessary in order to spring forward, because there's so many deep lessons in the failures. And I really avoided failure. Like I was trying to stay in this perfect little box. Like there was perfectionism involved. We all know I'm a serious people pleaser. And the fear of failure was a serious thing for me. And to get past all of that, to stop living in this small space, you just have to inch out. And it's okay. I'm not asking you to go 0 to 100, because our bodies can't always handle that all at once. Mine sure did. My sure couldn't. So you take baby steps every single day, and you keep stepping and stepping and stepping into that place that you want to be. And if you're crawling, crawl there. As long as you're moving. If you're ready to walk there, walk there. When you're ready to start jogging, start jogging. When you're ready to start running, run, sprint. That's when you go. And that's the thing. It's like, as long as you're moving, you take your journey on your time. You determine when you get there, and it's okay. If you want to get there faster, you can. If you don't, that's fine too. If you fall off a few times along the way, you're supposed to. And I'm here to tell you that you're supposed to. I got into a relationship. I fell off for a while. I put all of my career goals aside to try to make this work, and it didn't work. And then I got back into my career, right? Thankfully, it was a small, 6-month hiatus for myself. However, I learned a lot about myself. Okay, why do I abandon myself for a relationship? And then I noticed my attachment to work or my attachment to other things. And it's interesting to self-discover yourself along this journey. That's what it's about. And I'm able to get vulnerable with you guys now because I'm able to admit to the faults that I've had and the journey that I've gone through, because it was a beautiful one. You can call them mistakes if you want, but they're really lessons. And for you and the person listening really needs to do the same for themselves. You need to actually sit down with yourself and say, I fucked up at this time. What did I learn from it? What did I take from it? And that's what you need to do. You need to know when you're abandoning yourself for something else. You need to know when you're avoiding your success in order to stay right where you are because of your high fear of failure. You need to know when you're avoiding failure to learn the lessons because of your perfectionism. You need to get to know yourself and discover these parts about you, because everybody has a different inner working. And for me, it's very different from yours. However, you might resonate with some of the stuff I have to say. And that's the part of it. And that's the part of real estate that people don't really understand, how much of a self-development, self-discovery process this really is. And it's so beautiful. And it really will take you to really far places, but you have to understand your blocks. And that's what I work a lot with my clients. It's understanding those things that are in your way, whether it's your personal life. Like I said, my personal life, my relationship had gotten in the way of my career because I allowed it to, but why did I allow it to? And then I had to navigate that within myself, come back, step 2 feet back into my business, And when you really add up all the time I was actually in real estate and actually 2 feet stepped in, I accomplished a lot. So imagine what I could accomplish when both my feet were in my business at all times. When there were no distractions, because I allowed collaboration within my life. Like, I allowed myself to have a relationship and not abandon myself or my career. I allowed myself to have friendships and not take on that people-pleasing aspect as to when they ask me to hang out, I can say no. Or I can balance my time and space and my energy to allow myself to hang out with my friends and also balance my career and my relationship. And so that's what it comes down to. It's a big juggling game, but it's a big understanding of what can you handle? How many hours of work can you handle? How many hours of playtime can you handle? What kind of relationship can you really function with? And what do you need out of that in order to help you move up in the world with that person too? What kind of friends do you need in your life, right? I found about myself that I really needed supportive people in my life, loving people who really don't push me away but bring me in and say, you can do this. And that took a lot of books, that took a lot of meditation, that took a lot of sitting down. And I realized, okay, this is what I need from people. What do I need? Make a list and move towards that. It's funny how we want and need one thing, but we do a complete other. And again, that's from what we were taught or what we learned to be true from our past. However, we're adults now, we're making different decisions. So through this fear of failure removal process, I found myself and I figured out who I was. So when I removed that fear of failure in real estate and I went full time, there were only more challenges to come. Like I said, got into a relationship, and then I also had difficulties at times with my brokerage. I had a team, I had to manage all of that, and managing people, that was difficult for me too. And things come, but the more I got over the fear of failure, the more I was able to take risks. The more I was able to fail and learn from them and move forward faster. Because the longer you wait to fail, the longer you're going to wait to succeed. It's important that you fail, but it's important that you allow yourself to fail with grace. Be easy on yourself. It's okay. You can't learn from it if you're angry from it. So give yourself the space and time that you need so you can now move forward with that. Once I was able to get over that fear of failure of going full-time into the real estate business, okay, I did that, I didn't die, I'm good, I'm not on the streets, okay, next. Then I bought my first property, okay, next. Then I started a team, okay, next. Then I bought a second property, great. Then I started my business. That was scary. I felt like I had to start from the beginning again when I was removing that fear of failure. However, you need to understand, because fear of failure is a block, where that block comes from. You can't solve a problem, and I have clients, I have people, I even have friends who are like, I don't know, I blocked out that part of my life, I don't want to think about it. You can't solve a problem that you don't know the problem, right? If something's wrong in your car engine, you need to figure out what it is that's causing the issue in the car. Same thing with you and your body and your heart and your soul. You need to dig deep and figure out what it is that's causing your behavior, causing these mental blocks, causing you to avoid your success. And when you discover that becomes a part of your story, for one. For two, it allows you to navigate that in order to remove it. Because once you realize it's there, that's already step one. It's like almost a big relief, like, that's the reason. I'm not really like this, but it was this that taught me how to be like that. It feels good. It feels good when you discover it. I'm not going to tell you it's easy, because it's not. Discovering your blocks is actually a really difficult process, and you have to be extremely brave and courageous to navigate it. It's hard. It's hard to sit there and say, wow, this happened in my past, and that was really difficult, and I don't want to relive that, but you do have to sit with it. because it's impacting your decisions now. It's impacting your behavior now, your reactions, everything in your personal life and in your career. I guarantee it. So you have to tell yourself it's okay and it's safe to go and take a dive in. Figure out that part of your life. Make it a part of your story. Be proud of it. Be grateful for it because it's brought you here right now. But let it go because it's not serving you any purpose now. Letting it go is a little more difficult. I do a lot of deep work of this in my coaching. It would be difficult to tell you how to let it go in just one video at all. It would take maybe months for a lot of people. But that's okay because a few months of working through these things to bring you hundreds of thousands of dollars later, great success and a happy life, I'd say it's worth it. It was worth it for me. I still have a coach. I still have a therapist. I still work on myself every single day because I wouldn't be the coach that I am without the support and guidance. And I wouldn't be able to get over these fears of failure. I wouldn't be able to increase my self-worth and my self-confidence constantly and put these videos out for you guys to listen to without my support system. So gain support, a coach, whoever that you can really seek to really navigate all of this for yourself. As you guys know, I do coaching as well. I provide these videos for you to help grow from and learn from and resonate with my story. But odds are you probably need your own internal journey process as well. So I will leave you with that. It's deep stuff, but you guys know I get real deep on my channel and that's how I like it. This is more of the mental and emotional side of real estate. And in any career, that's what really takes you places if you want to be successful and happy. And that's the kind of life I think anybody should want to live. So again, all of my information is in the description. And if this content helped you at all, like and subscribe. And as always, good luck.